What's the deal, YouTube? We're back with the weekly Xbox Beastfire podcast. Thank you for joining us live. Now, listen, it's normally 7:30. I think 8 o'clock is a better time. Dealer suggested we make sure go 8 o'clock. Even though he suggested we should go at 7:30, the earlier the better. So
hey, I had different things going on then, goddammit.
All right, so, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock on Tuesdays. You know what I mean?
I'm a selfish bastard, bro.
We will be doing Xbox Beastfire on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Didn't we used to do it Monday?
Yeah, but Dealer had something about
boxing or something.
Yeah.
He's getting his yellow belt.
Hey, can we go back to Mondays? Can we vote for Mondays?
I'm getting my white belt, Rip. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'd like to go back to Mondays for real.
They ain't even gave me a white belt yet. They just make me wear gym shorts.
Gym shorts and fucking some ADD pills. But move on.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the show. Anything came up since the last time we convened, since the congregation last time we got together and prayed to Jesus? Anything else to them?
Everybody just,
why are you so excited for something that has no fucking games?
I'll say this: the climate out there with the Sony fanboys. Holy shit, are they fucking salty, man?
Xbox has no games.
Yeah, motherfuckers never need to buy salt in their lives. Just rub your fucking burrito on your body or something. Jesus Christ.
I mean, the truth is we don't have any games, bro. You know, that's just facts.
Yeah.
Hey, as far as what? I mean, I just seen Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite Day that's coming to the Scorpio. Injustice
non-multiplats.
Non-multiplat. Well, we do got State of Decay 2.
Well.
We got to see what that's about.
All right, all day's bitch ass is trolling. We all get that. Me and him was talking last night, and we agreed that both sides have a very similar number of first-party titles coming.
They do.
But the third parties really create the gap right now. So hopefully Phil's meeting in Japan was very productive.
I mean,
Phil, don't lock no deal with Dynasty Warriors, please. We don't want to see Master Chief out there throwing blows, man. I'm good.
Oh man, you know what?
Master Chief and Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, make him a DLC character. That's terrible, yo.
Oh shit.
But listen, I will say this, and again, I'm not liking those that likes those One Piece blood type games. They're not for me. I don't. That's not my thing. But what I eat doesn't make anyone shit. I say I'd rather have it. Would rather need it and not have it, and have it and not need it.
Options are good, right?
Options are good, but if what I would like to see Microsoft do, and I said this time with them, is maybe grow their own studios. You know what I mean? Open it. They got enough money or whatever to make their own studios, or not just buy them or whatever the hell you got to do. You know what I mean? Or even better, I would like to see this. Like you look at Turn 10. I said this before, or 343 Studios, or what's up? The Coalition now. Make something other than what they're used to making. Like, I don't. Besides, the Coalition does gears, right? Have them make something else. Do something with the Shanghai Heights assets.
I mean, I kind of agree with you, bro. But the problem, that's not the problem. The problem is they just need more studios to make more shit anyway, right?
They need help, bro. They need a helping hand. I mean, if you get the Coalition to make 2 games, bro, they still have to worry about Gears because that's their money in the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna need some more studios to help out, nonetheless. So I mean, I think that's the real problem. It'll be hard to work on Gears in another game, bro.
But we don't need another Gears for like another 2 to 3 years. They can support that. This is my theory, right? When they put out Halo 6, right, or Halo whatever, whatever Halo comes out next, right, or like Halo 5, we don't need a Halo every other year or every 2. They can support those games with DLC, with map packs, and whatever the hell. You know what I mean? Instead of giving us a whole new brand new Halo 6. And the same thing with the Gears franchise. That can probably live on for like another 2 years just with DLC or whatever,
Yeah, and Gears 4 just came out like last fall, so we don't need it.
Yeah. And the multiplayer and the DLC gives it legs.
Like, I mean, Halo 5 came out in 2015, so like we're doing another Halo, but I don't see another one coming out this year.
I think Phil and I was hoping that a Halo would come out with the launch of Scorpio, but Phil confirmed that there's going to be no Halo this year, so I don't think it would be.
Amen to that.
2018.
Where's that violin noise all day? Where the fuck is that? That's confession of D.
With the no.
Yeah, we tried telling D. He's like, "What the fuck are you smoking, bro?"
Yeah,
but
because it was
Halo 6. this year for sure. No.
Now,
It would have been a
might
good
see a
time to launch
teaser.
it, but yeah,
We'll see a
I get
teaser.
it.
We'll see a teaser.
We'll probably
Yeah,
see a
we'll
CG
definitely,
thing,
we'll definitely
right?
see something. Yes, we'll see something at E3. I think so.
Sony has a really good spring right now. They
Yes.
put out some good games and they've got some good scores on their games, and but everyone just forgets that Xbox had a really good holiday like 2 or 3 months before that, and right now it doesn't look all that great. Just Sea of Thieves, really like the big games: Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3.
Forza 7. That's gonna be big.
But it's like we said before, the past 3 years, Sony and Xbox pretty much were neck and neck with the few really great exclusives they had, and they were all pretty much rated about the same across the board. They're all good games, but Sony, it took them a while. Now they've got it finally over Xbox with more games right now, but there's more games coming out for the Xbox than anybody has money to buy at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, if you're planning on buying Star Wars and Red Dead and Crackdown and Forza 7, there's more games than anybody can shell their wallet out in one sitting.
You might as well get the best version on Scorpio, right, on the console.
Yep.
So if you're a console guy. So Z was asking what had happened since the last time we were here in this weird orgy. Basically, they confirmed Vega elements in the GPU of Scorpio, which is kind of an older topic, but wanted to put that out there for morons making fun of people on Twitter because you're dumb. Yeah, Vega has been confirmed to be in Scorpio. It's not a Vega GPU, but it does use Vega elements like we had suggested. So I think it's pretty cool.
And I did a video on that last week, and I missed the multiplayer podcast on Thursday. However, I did catch it on the rerun, and I saw Alex running his mouth over there, talking about how I was wrong about it having the Vega GPU.
That's all that guy does.
So,
he's a fuckface. It's okay.
So it was confirmed to have it. So do your due diligence and do some research, buddy.
So
what did you think about the MVP massacre?
The MVP massacre.
Yeah, with Jade Centuries.
Last week. Well,
oh yeah.
I don't know, man. I just leave it. I'll leave the argument there.
You're even talking about.
Yeah.
But check it out. Though, listen here. All right, now for the you got to break it down in layman's terms. When you say that Scorpio is going to have elements of Vega, what do you mean by that for the average customer?
Well, it's like color compression features and stuff like that, right?
It's borrowing stuff from it too. Probably we know that it can record HDR footage, so that might be borrowed from Vega as well. We're not sure everything that it's borrowing, but it is borrowing features of it. Just like the PlayStation 4 Pro is borrowing the half float FP16 calculations from Vega as well. So it has some of the elements. Not full Vega, but
bottom line, it's been confirmed by Microsoft to have some Vega in the GPU. So
yeah. And I also want to address something else on the multi-podcast. Where people clowning on me that I said Ryzen was going to be in it too. It was. I don't know why everybody gives me such a hard time on the fucking CUDA course. I was reporting on a rumor. I was reporting on the rumor.
Wait, listen.
The
4K player.
Nick Jen, I must disagree. No. It's gonna have CUDA. I said no.
Because I really thought that because in all honesty, Nvidia had the technology to give them something like that. I just didn't think that Nintendo would be so idiotic to really put such outdated hardware in that machine.
Listen, you guys are stupid. Nintendo's gonna have the greatest graphics of all time. You guys don't understand. It's gonna be running 4K 60 frames. You know that.
I never said that.
We're just giving you shit, D, because you are out there on a kite sometimes, bro.
But every time I gotta address this because it kind of annoys me, to be honest with you. Anytime I report on that stuff, I do report on it as a fucking rumor, So if I'm reporting as a rumor and to take it with a grain of salt, it's a rumor. It's speculation, and we're allowed to do speculation in the tech industry.
I think they're referring to the times where, just like the HBM2, where I would look at it as, no, that's silly, it's way too expensive, the bandwidth is way too high, and you were very, very adamant about it being HBM2. I don't fucking know why, but you were, and that's the kind of shit we're really talking about. Like,
what it is?
Fun.
I think
all fun, bro. It's not a big deal.
I think it's the PC guy in me that comes out in some of the console stuff and hoping that they'll have some of the implementation of the PC stuff. But you know what? I've come to the realization that it's just
Hey,
not
D,
gonna
tell
happen.
him it's the alternate facts you're dealing with here, man. Fake news. Tell me you report on the fake news and alternative facts.
Come
man.
on,
It's
Killian.
like when you play
I want to say one more thing too. People were saying, "Oh, he said, oh, he has fucking AMD stocks. What the fuck does this nigga know?" Okay, first of all, I gotta tell you guys I gotta tell you guys a real good story here. I knew what AMD was gonna do with Polaris, with Vega, long before. AMD stock about a year and a half ago was at about $1.46 a share, something like that. And I jumped in head first from there. And let me tell you right now, AMD stock is at $13.30 a share. So,
Oh wow.
So if you bought like
so
5,000
whoever's making
shares,
fun of me there, you can eat my nuts because I'm making.
Can I borrow $20
here?
bro, let's wrap it up by saying this is the fact that you don't need to defend yourself against any of these little dick clickers on multiplayer podcasts, okay? They're not even veteran trolls that have to pull 2-year-old videos out of the vault to expose you. Like, it's not even worth your time. They're just, some fuck faces on multiplayer podcasts nobody gives a shit about. Just keep doing you. You know, you make assumptions, you guess at shit, and you're off sometimes. It's no big deal. None of us have been 100% on anything, so it is what it is. What do you want? What do you guys want to cover today? Z, you got the topics, right?
I got the topics. Let's make it happen. We got here AMD leaks that they're working on a headset for quote unquote Project Scorpio. We got that. What else we have? We have let me bring up the list. I'm freestyle. We got that AMD. I don't know. I guess while I'm looking through the list of the topics here.
AMD actually. Well, this is PC related, but they said on their Facebook page. I put up a video today about this. That Vega is going to be basically coming out this quarter. So this quarter ends in June. So we're actually going to know about the Vega CPU anywhere from now to June.
Vega GPU. Oh yeah, they're gonna. So the actual specs to come out because that city was doing on Linus comparing it to a GTX 1080 or a Titan. This is going to be.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, it's between.
I mean, the power is no surprise. It's the fact that we know that it should come in substantially cheaper than those two cards.
So how much so the 680 is what? The 1080 is what? 600.
1080 is like 4 to 5, I think, and then 1080 Ti 7, I do believe. This is supposed to come in between a 1080 and a 1080 Ti for hopefully around $500 or $400.
I'm thinking between 4 and 5. I'm thinking more for. Yeah, you know what? It can be between 4 and 5. And if they price it between 4 and 5, just like how I feel about Scorpio being $399, Nvidia is going to be in a lot of trouble because they've had that sector for themselves for a long time because AMD's really been concentrating like more on the mainstream and like the lower end market, and Nvidia's had that all to themselves. So they've been kind of price gouging, releasing cards, and then 2 months later releasing a card that's twice the power of it, and all kinds of crap. And it's going to come back to bite them in the ass if Vega comes out and outperforms them and is substantially cheaper. Nvidia will be in a lot of trouble.
If it's within 15%, 10% for $100 less, it don't even have to outperform them, So we'll see. It really, and I think AMD, what they've done is smart. They focused on the mid-range card is really what they've done with the 480 and shaking things up there, and through their drivers over the past 7-8 months have actually come out on top on almost like I'd say 65 to 70% of DX11 games, and it's pretty much a sweep in DX12, so they've come a long way.
And then recently they released the RX 580. I'll see the video on this, and you're able to flash your 480 into a 580. Now some people saying, "Oh, let me just overclock my card." Not everyone's card can actually clock up to that. So with the BIOS update, they're changing like the voltages. They're doing all kinds of stuff behind the scenes there that actually lets the card start at a like the boost clock to be a lot higher, so it actually flashes to an actual 580. So for you guys out there that have a 480 card, do it at your own risk, of course, but there is a method out there, and it does turn your card into a 580, and you do get a free performance boost.
It's 3 to 5 frames on average. It's there's no real difference. If you got a 480, do not buy a 580. That's the bottom line.
No, definitely don't. No.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Hey, Colt, you're AMD or Nvidia, man?
I am Nvidia. Yeah.
All right. I don't know much about AMD.
I don't have a preference either way. I just like what I have, and I'm happy with it.
What do you have?
I have a 1070.
Okay, yes, you did.
It has 3 fan blades.
That's how I am. I started with 2 Nvidia cards, and this is my first AMD card, and I go back and forth. I don't give a fuck, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no.
I've never owned a Nvidia card, and you know what? They do make good products. I absolutely, and you know, especially for the enthusiasts, you know, for the high end market. I just don't like their practices. The
Well,
way
part
they
of that's
do
AMD's
business.
fault for not competing properly too. You got to keep that in mind. If
Yeah, but they
if
do a
they were
lot. They do
competing
a,
the right way, they couldn't have gotten away with that kind
yeah,
of
but they
stuff.
do a lot of underhanded things, like, you know, with their game works, putting stuff in there that gimps AMD stuff, and they do a lot of anti-consumer shit, man.
Well,
G-Sync
I bought
isn't free when FreeSync is, for example, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an
I bought-
Nvidia.
I bought my 1070
Yeah.
I bought my 1070 like
He's
6
like, I have
months
a
ago, and
turtle.
somebody told me today to sell it and upgrade to the 1170 instead of buying a Scorpio.
Well, I mean, ask him why he's so worried about it. You know, who said that? Your son said that?
No, some guy on YouTube. So it's like,
I think you cut out a little bit there. I think.
You know what?
Yeah.
To say that I have both, obviously, but there's some experiences that you just can't get on PC, and there's just some titles, some games that are never going to come to PC. So if you're a true, real gamer, you have to own a console any way you look at it.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. But
Spend a lot of time on this PC.
Wait, I gotta
bullshit
say
anyway.
something. I gotta bookend what D just said. That you gotta own a console anyway, if you're a true gamer.
Mhm.
I really truly believe that the Scorpio is actually the first console that is worthy to exist. Like, for a long time, PC gamers have been calling consoles peasant crap, and with how they've been underpowered this gen, at 1080p, 28 frames per second, the Scorpio is going to be something that is actually really deserves to be up there with a really good PC, and I think that worries a lot of Sony fans, and it worries a lot of PC gamers. And the video I put out this morning was highly controversial because I said there's so many PC gamers out there, and we are one of those PC gamers, right? And there's so many of them, but how many of that large group are gaming like 1440p 60 or 4K 30 or 4K 60? I think it's a small majority. And I also saw another source today that said that the Nvidia high-end cards like the 1070 and the 1080s and the 1060s, they don't sell in the millions like a console does. They sell in the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah,
it's too expensive, man.
Yeah,
because you got
the
to build
most
on your
popular
PC
games
too,
on
right?
PC, I mean, they're run by the most shittiest PCs ever. So the
Dota
most
too.
popular games.
Yeah,
Dota,
sure.
League of Legends, Counter-Strike.
But not me. I'm playing Mass Effect Andromeda on my PC.
Right.
But it's crazy the backpedaling, the flack that us Xbox fans and the Xbox gamers are getting for wanting something like the Scorpio, which really looks to be a worthy gaming console to actually play AAA games.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would ever get any kind of flack for wanting something like that. Obviously, that's why we got next gen consoles for next gen visuals, right?
Sure.
And secondly, because you want to see what the games can do on these things, and obviously the games will always come. That's how they make money. That's how publishers and developers continue to feed their families. But the only thing that I remember the Xbox community really saying when it comes to power is there's not a huge difference between 900p and 1080p. Because for most people, they were acting like because one's 1080, they're completely different games visually. When in reality, they weren't, right? I mean, especially with things like temporal anti-aliasing and stuff. Yeah, you get slightly softer image, but generally you get pretty much the same settings when it comes to graphics. And that's what we were saying back then.
Yeah, Dealer, something I started to notice just the past couple of months, and this correlates to the announcement of Scorpio. GameSpot and IGN does those graphic comparisons between Xbox One and PS4. And I remember a year or two ago, the comment section was like, PS4 looks better. PS4 version looks way better. Totally PS4 version is the better version.
I can't see it.
And now if you go on those comparison videos, you'll see two types of comments. One is, why are they still doing these? And the other comment is, I can't see the difference. That whole response changed from gamers on consoles.
I'll say this though, when Scorpio comes out, of course, we play on PC, so we see the ultra textures, but a lot of console gamers have not seen what ultra textures look like, or played a game that has ultra textures. And I'm gonna flat out say pretty much all the games of Scorpio are going to have ultra textures. And when gamers see that and see that graphic fidelity, I really feel their mind is going to be blown.
I wouldn't make it a sure thing because you never know what some of these developers are going to do. I'd say that any game that probably has them on the PC is going to have pretty good.
Well, that's what Phil said in his interview with Gameshot, whatever. Said that developers are these games now are building them with the PC textures and stuff. Like one of the multi-plats we share between console and PC.
Yeah.
And again, like what I was told from the offset, what we have now, and we've been playing for the last 3 years since 2013, whether it's engines wise or whatever the case, Scorpio won't have a problem, 4K or whatever, better textures. Cool. But I want to ask you guys a question. So there have been some leaks and there is some rumors or some whispering that Microsoft has some huge third-party multi-plat deal, or maybe exclusive wise, that's going to be announced at E3. What do you guys think? Could it be?
I have a good guess. I think they're gonna announce Fallout 4 VR, since there's gonna be VR support for Scorpio, right?
Okay.
Isn't that a pretty good guess?
Yeah. That's no.
They're gonna kind of tout that like it'll be kind of like a Microsoft exclusive. You'll be able to get Fallout 4 VR on the Scorpio and Windows 10 PC.
And all 10 people that have it will give a fuck.
well, here's the thing, though.
That's not worthy of bragging about.
No. Listen me out, dealer. And listen, I'm with you on that. Like, far as who has the Oculus or the Vive, but you get AMD supposed to be working on a headset. I think for Microsoft, whatever, supposed to be affordable, maybe $300. But $200, I'd be willing to try out VR. You know what I mean? On some
But I think that announcement's coming. I think that's coming. They're going to announce that.
Well, I'm kind of curious what that mysterious game could be, because I'm kind of curious what that is.
What if they lock down Splinter Cell? That'd be huge. I doubt it.
What the fuck is the point of locking down any fucking games when you don't lock down your own fucking games? It's so stupid. And if you're doing another year-timed exclusive bullshit, which didn't pan out that well last time.
So dumb.
No, I mean,
Tomb Raider did sell over 1 million in like 3 months. I think it took to sell about 1 million, but still. I mean, the media hated it back then, and people hated it, and it didn't really benefit you too much.
And Phil Spencer
said he doesn't like it. It did come to the PlayStation, so what was the point? Don't do it again. Let's put that money into making a new game.
Bro, listen, in a perfect world, sometimes I don't think Microsoft gets it. And this is one of the reasons I've been very, very critical of them when it comes to stuff like that. Because you hear Phil say, and like I said, it's always he say a prelude to what's to come, right? I was a fan, or I like to call people fans, but someone asked him on Twitter about the marketing deal, maybe I don't know, Star Wars or Call of Duty, and Phil said, he don't see what the big deal about, gamers or players, about third marketing deals or getting so hyped about third marketing deals, party deals, whatever the case may be. And with this generation, they have been I guess I'm gonna say a bargaining tool or a what do you call it? Like a point for someone's
interest.
Bro, I've got to flat out say that Sony have done a fucking phenomenal job at trying to suppress what's coming this year. We're locking down essentially what's looking like Call of Duty, Destiny 2, Red Dead 2, and Star Wars Battlefront 2 alone. Yep. Doing that is going to take a lot of the perception away from what is going to be the best version on Scorpio. No matter what, developers have pretty much already talked about this. You're going to have the best version. The divide in RAM and processing power is too wide to not have the best version. If you're asking for parity, if you're saying they're going to be the same version, then you're anti-consumer and you're probably stupid. Because so far they haven't bothered to do that one fucking time. Almost all these games have had some resolution differences or some texture filtering difference because of their difference in bandwidth, right?
Yes.
Yep,
there's little differences here and there. So there's going to be differences. And with games running on UWP like Project Cars, 2 they're bringing over, Shadow of War, they've already kind of hinted at 4K. There's going to be differences aside from resolution. Bet it.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about as far as graphically, but again, go. Yeah.
That Sony E3 reveal with Red Dead and all those games is gonna it's gonna be huge.
It is gonna be huge.
Yeah.
The fact that at the end of the day, the fact is that they're the first time we're gonna, I guess, maybe see in gameplay footage of some of these games like Red Dead or whatever, and they're showing it off on their stage. Now listen, for the hardcore, for us, we all know that it's going to be on the Xbox One or Project Scorpio. But and we all know that they're going to look better on Scorpio. But here's my thing, I don't know how Sony's marketing deal was set up. Will they actually be able to show it? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, will the average consumer be able to go out and see what it actually looks better?
The average consumer is probably going to think it's a Sony exclusive.
Yeah, he's right.
And some people are using these marketing deals as a reason why the X1 version won't look better on Scorpio. And I'm like, well, Battlefield 1 was a marketing deal with the Xbox, and the PlayStation version still looked better. They try to get the most out of these platforms. So just think about this shit before you comment about it,
Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know, Colt. Maybe you can add. I don't know how, and I said this, I say this again, I said it a few times, but I just understand when it comes to stuff like that, I don't know if Microsoft is being extremely cheap. They going over budget. They got to squeeze the quarter to the equal screen. But, how Sony constantly out hustling them on that front. I mean, they already proceed to putting out more AAA games to you, whether you like them or not. And then also to when it comes to these third-party marketing deals. For Microsoft not to have a shooter, that they can really market and advertise on their console, and I don't really care for shooters. I got the reflexes of a 95-year-old man. I don't give a fuck about no shooter. But that is the most dominant genre of this generation. Shooters. You know what I mean? The fact that they can, I don't know how long the Call of Duty deal was set up, or even as far as the Destiny deal. I don't even know if the Star Wars Battlefront was.
The Destiny deal is supposed to be for 10 years.
Okay, fine. Let's take that off the board. But as far as the Star Wars deal, I don't know if they could have went out and got it. But the fact that they don't have one. You know what I mean?
What's up with Microsoft and that whole split screen co-op thing for Star Wars?
No, that was just a PC. That was a PC issue. They announced that the PC version won't have split screen.
Yeah, it never has, right? So, and we are going to get comments from people saying, "Who cares about marketing deals?" Yes, we know the Scorpio versions will still look and run better, right? We know that, but we're talking about the concept, how it's going to be conceived by the consumer, right? Like, what are they going to see? Are they going to even know that it runs better? They're going to know Xbox has the best console this year. That's really what this is all about. Yes, you're still going to get the best version if you buy the Xbox version this year. We all know that, but we're talking about marketing.
Yeah, another weird thing that I saw, and I don't know where this article is. I can look for it real quick. But this gaming news media thing, they said that in order for Scorpio and Microsoft to prove that they do have better looking games, they're going to need to prove it at E3 that their games do look better and make it so that people watching E3 on YouTube will be able to see what 4K looks like even on their phone. And this whole article is about how Microsoft needed to go out of their way to show that 4K looks better than checkerboard. But the funny thing was that was never an issue when the Pro was shown last year. I never heard anybody say anything like that.
Who was that article by? Do you know offhand?
Let me look for it real quick.
You don't got to. We'll just call him Fuckface. Basically, what Fuckface is saying here is completely stupid, because did they ever say that about PS4 when the PS4 clearly had the higher resolutions? Did they say
Polygon? It's Polygon. Microsoft has a lot more to do, a lot more to prove. If they want to reset the conversation, they need to show games looking better on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, they have to.
Which is impossible.
I mean, you can't fucking see the difference between the Xbox One version and the PC version a lot of times on fucking Twitch. I mean, come on. I'm not saying you can't at all, but I'm just saying that the quality is degraded, whether you realize it or not. The main thing you'll notice is that there's 60 FPS streaming. So what I'm trying to say here is that you're not going to get, that's not going to be a thing right now with streaming. We're going to have to rely on word of mouth.
The only way you're really going to find out is the people who attended the conference. That's it.
You know what? At the end of the day, I will say this: as far as resolution, and most people, if you don't have I don't even know if IGN, if E3 is even going to be streamed in 4K. But what the average Joe Schmo can probably tell you that maybe it's the textures, like a lot more going on. But
even if it's a 4K stream on a 1080p TV or a 1080p phone or whatever, even a 720p phone, you're still going to see that it's a superior quality. That it's a more crisp image. You can still see that.
A 4K stream.
I've never looked at YouTube to see which version had the best graphics, because that shit's lost. It's lost.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, here's
the big thing. I subscribe to Candyland, and they do a lot of comparisons. And half of the time, because of the compression artifacts, it's really hard to tell the difference.
What is that? A cam girl site? What is that?
No, they're like a digital foundry. They do
Never heard of my life. Damn, they almost like the cat out there. That's some Pornhub shit. Yeah, you got that VR. Damn, man, what? I'm like, huh?
He's like, I was on Candy Crush all day.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what about this? Is there going to be a situation where a game on Scorpio is 60 FPS, but the Pro version is only 30?
I would hope so.
That would be the main parity issue.
But you know what?
We've got a big ass story tomorrow to talk about on Xbox Nation. Just plug it now, right? I've seen some stuff, and there's some good signs that they are moving directly to DX12 over DX11. And like I said, tune into Xbox Nation for all that stuff. That's Craps Beast, and we're going to tackle it there. But basically, the fact that they're trying to phase out DX11 on Scorpio means that every game will have that 50% boost to the CPU, meaning that you could potentially have more 60 frames options on the Scorpio over the Pro, without considering the automatic advantages, the optimization and the lower queue times and faster memory and stuff has to do with that. So that's just another boost.
Well, that's where you'll see the difference. If I don't think they're going to broadcast at 60 FPS to YouTube or anything like that, but that's where people will start seeing the difference. Before you even see 4K, if you see a game on the Pro running at 30 FPS and you see it on Scorpio running 60, that's going to be a huge difference.
I've said it several times. That'll be the real great divider.
That's going to be a deal breaker.
Yeah. Well, what Brad Wardwell was saying over the weekend was because they put that DX12 hardware chip in it, a lot of people are overlooking the fact that it's got it baked in there that they can do thousands of draw calls, and that's really going to help with the GPU assets. So,
let me ask you a question. I'm sorry. Go.
And just the fact that they put DX12, like they baked it into the system, is telling me that developers are going to really wrap their head around DX12. It's going to be highly adoptive. It's going to pass on over to PC, and you're going to see most games being DX12 going forward. You're not going to see too many DX11 games. That's it.
He also said that it supports Vulkan, right? So
yes, it does.
Vulkan, yeah. Let me ask you a question, Cole. I thought you was kind of going with this for me, as far as parity between Xbox One gamers and some being 60 and some being 30. Are you talking about that, or are you just talking about between two different, Sony and Microsoft? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. This was kind of brought up like last year. Well, I think before multiplayer, everything is probably 60 frames on line before multiplayer, more or less the games that people play. But is it really an issue on PC because not everyone has the same hardware and they game them just fine together. So
that is a policy that will eventually erode away. That frame rate parity with multiplayer. Yeah. I guarantee you, time will destroy that policy, and they will say, you know what? You got Scorpio, you get 60 frames on this game online. It is what it is.
That's why you buy the console, bitch.
Yeah, but what I guess all shooters are already
pretty much. Yeah, you're right. All the major games that we play online, Battlefront, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Forza, all these racing games already 60. Yeah, besides Gears of War is 60. You don't even got to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, Gears multiplayer mode is 60. Yeah.
I guess I want to see what they do with maybe Forza Horizon. Because is that 60 on PC?
Yes, it is, but not on Xbox One.
Yeah, that game, they'll need to do some optimizations because, as we said last time, that game needs some PC, some CPU optimization for sure.
Yep. Because I told you, my PC with the 1070, I'm running at ultra and hitting about 50 frames. I can't even get up to 60. And I have a really good rig, it's just that game's got optimization problems, and it launched really bad on PC because it's a huge game.
A lot of people keep missing what Phil said in, I believe it was the Gama Sutra article, where he said that one of the reasons why they delayed Scorpio and they didn't go with two different versions of the Xbox is because they wanted to get higher frame rates. Now, if we were still going to stay at 30 frames per second, what would be the whole point of him wanting to wait till they could get higher frame rates? And people have to remember, too, the implementation of FreeSync over HDMI is really going to help with frame rates as well.
Do you guys think that the Sony having most of the major marketing deals is going to halt the sales of Scorpio, or do you think it's still going to sell okay?
Well, it's gonna blunt the bleeding for them because they're going to get shot they're gonna get shot up this fall, and it's gonna blunt the bleeding. That's all it's gonna do.
They done pretty
dealers
much the
said it was-
smartest thing they possibly could by
Yeah, it was a
scratching up those
desperate.
deals.
Yeah, it was a desperate
I
attempt.
mean,
It was
it's
a good
smooth.
move.
It's smart.
Yeah, it was
right?
a good-
I
it was
think
a
it's a
very
smart
smart
move.
Definitely, I commend them for it. It was smart because they were able to foresee what was coming in the future, right? And they prepared their company for it. So, and when the PlayStation division is keeping the lights on, I guess you better do all you can to keep it afloat, right?
And shout out to almost 300 people watching this live. Be
Hit
sure
the
to
like
finger bang the shit like button, if you
Please.
will. Show some support.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, remember last year, Sony announced a PlayStation 4 Slim and a Pro,
Yes.
and Xbox announced the Xbox One S.
Yes.
And the Xbox One S outsold for a couple months, so that was pretty cool. That was really good for Xbox, and it's kind of a nice little victory. But it could be pretty big this year because they're not just announcing a trimmed down Xbox. This is going to be a really nice console.
I really think UWP is going to give Microsoft a good little edge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also too,
some more support.
Also too, if this leak is true that we saw last week of the Xbox being priced at $399, and I've said it from a while that if they come in aggressively at $399,
They're going to drop
man,
it off, man.
I'm telling you, man, if it comes in at $399, PlayStation is in trouble.
All right, vote what you think the price is. Come on.
Everybody type.
PlayStation's not in trouble.
$700. It's going to be $700. You see the work they did to that console?
But
$700.
PlayStation 5's coming out next year at $499, right? It's going to have 10 teraflops.
You see what the Scorpio can do? He can fuck it.
I think we all said that the Pro will drop down to $350 at E3. That'll be one of their announcements. That'll be one of their stages.
Definitely.
Graphics, man.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of the Pro, not to cut you off, sorry. I was watching a lot of streams of GTA. It's not GTA. Sorry, Gran Turismo Sport. Holy shit, does that game look like ass?
Oh
Seriously?
man, I was gonna mention that earlier, bro. The car sounds like a microwave, man.
Yeah, the trees. The lighting is good. I do like the lightings, and the skybox is good. The mountains, some of the textures are fucking garbage. The trees are these 3D cutouts. I see. It looks like it's mostly online, or at least the beta is online. And there's no collision. There's no collision.
D, you're spoiled, man. You've been playing Forza Horizon.
I really think
It's true.
the development times with Gran Turismo is hurting it really bad.
But how does it have no collision? There's no collision. It's like you're running. You're having a ghost race.
I can explain it to you, bro. It's called crack smoke.
Man.
But wasn't that the problem with the last one? Did the last one not have collision on it?
Yeah. I don't think did they ever have a collision or whatever the case may be. I know they were using I know when the PS3. I'm sorry, when Gran Turismo came out for the PS3, they was using the old models from the PS2 version of the game.
Yeah.
I will give Mike this one thing I said the other day. What Microsoft does, well, even with Turn 10, maybe budget wise, but you would think maybe Sony would handle that. Frankly, that is their number one, their franchise. Gran Turismo is their number one selling franchise to date. Which may not be that popular as it once was here, but overseas is huge.
No matter how bad it is to us,
it's going to sell.
It's still going to sell based off the name.
Well, Drive Club sold, right? So
but also too, but Sony's looking, as far as people talking about as far as the VR, they're going to piggyback because this is going to be their first in-house studio game, more or less AAA to support VR. The headset, and they're going to probably look to piggyback that on the success of a Gran Turismo, especially overseas. Is that thing still $400 though? As we speak, still no price cut.
What, VR?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still on the VR. I heard you guys talking about the VR earlier. VR, I really wish everyone could experience it. It's such a good experience, but it's too overpriced.
Oh yeah.
Have you tried it? Have you? You know what? This is my opinion. If you have not tried it, you can't speak on it. If you tried it and you don't like it, then that's fine. That is fine.
I just want to hear all Day's response to that again. That made me laugh. Oh man.
You guys need to listen. Listen to me now.
Man,
VR is one of those experiences that you cannot be compared out to anything.
But you have to try it, and it's so simple. You don't need to own one to try it. You can go into the Microsoft store. They got the HTC Vive.
What do you like on there? What do you like?
I like Resident Evil. I like some of the experiences. I like, say I want to go on a roller coaster ride, or if I want to sit there and watch Netflix, I can watch Netflix with my friends inside of the VR world. Yeah. Sorry, I know it's a kids program. All you kids, shut it off right now. VR porn is holy shit. It's just an amazing experience. It truly is it's just different. And if you're a gamer, you're going to be drawn to it once you try it. It's just the price. It's just too damn expensive. You know, I'm an enthusiast, so I like to go out and get these fucking gadgets, but it doesn't make sense for the average person to spend like $600, $400 on the VR. It is expensive.
I think more people will adapt to it once the price drops a little bit more.
I've always said that was too expensive. Listen, when they first announced VR, I was all about it. VR or AR, whatever you call it. I thought whatever game I played, it would have put me inside the game. I'm playing God of War, my arms would be Kratos. Then I found out what it was, and like I said, for $500, I couldn't justify the price of me. If something I may play once or twice, something I may or may not like. You know what I mean? You have the horror, not sinking, and
my friends have returned and sold all theirs that they bought last year.
And I listen, I will say this, not to be a flip flop, but I do believe VR will find its, or VR AR will find its stride once it becomes more, cheaper, and they have some compelling software, maybe their version of Crush or
they need to drastically reduce pricing, and they need to get those headsets ultra light, and they need to be cordless before it goes.
Well, this is what's going to happen when it's exactly so. It's going to go mainstream when it becomes cheaper and when it becomes cordless. I believe the cordless is what's really hurting it. And AMD's bought a company that does the technology. Microsoft has spoken that it does need to go cordless, and I think the implementation of AR and VR together is what's going to be the true selling point, and when it's really going to be adopted by the public.
Cordless is coming in the next year. Yeah, they are already on it. So
convenience is a hell of a drug.
I'll pick up VR when the world turns to Tron.
Yeah, there you go.
You done smoking crack, Reaper?
Hey, me and Reaper.
But you know what?
I'll turn to VR.
There is a game in there. I forget the name of that fucking game now. But it's just like Tron. When you're like in the vehicles and you're fighting like that, it's exactly like fucking Tron. To be honest,
it's probably just a Tron game.
No, it's not Tron, but it's
like Tron. It looks just like Tron. What's it called? Fucking, I swear to God, it's called Tron.
But I really highly recommend you guys, if you're curious about it, you can't afford to get one, don't want to get one, but just want to try it, go to Microsoft Store.
I got an idea. Let me borrow yours.
Right. I've been using mine, and I just got another one too, because I got the Galaxy S8. I got my Galaxy S8, so it came with a free one, so I have that one too, the Oculus for the phone.
So you wear the PSVR, and then the goat wears the little one, right?
That's it, man. And then we have virtual sex. It's fucking
awesome. That's the
there you go. Deep bugging.
Did you really just say that? You're in Canada, not Mississippi, motherfucker.
But anywho,
now we're done hearing D talk about fucking goats. What's next?
Hey, matter of fact, right now on Beastfire, let's name his goat. We need to get him up with a name.
Name is
Goat. Like D does. Let's go. Let's move on.
But anyway, so back to what I was saying. There have been rumors, leaks, or whatever, that Microsoft is going to make a huge, or maybe a surprise announcement at E3. Colt got us on the whole VR thing, but as far as what's it, Fallout? Yeah, I'm just saying Fallout. I did. Okay. Okay, well, Fallout.
I did. Fuck you. Okay, I did.
Yeah. Was Bethesda? Was that last year's Microsoft Scorpio unveiling, or whatever the case? So Bethesda is somehow on board with Scorpio, whether it's
you'll see that bitch run the ultra settings probably.
Whatever. Whatever.
But wasn't there a rumor that Bethesda had something in the pocket with Microsoft that was kind of talked about this year?
There's so many rumors, man.
Yeah, we did. We got that Windows 10 card game or some shit. Remember the huge announcement?
Solitaire.
Gwent.
Yeah, Gwent.
Solitaire 2 in 4K.
I don't know what the fuck, man. But I don't know. I want to say this. Do you think we see an exclusive Splinter Cell?
No.
Like the last one? What's the last one? What was the last one called?
Blacklist.
Not Blacklist. The other one.
Conviction was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Conviction. You think we can see
But
it?
yeah, Sam Fisher. What's his name? Michael Ironside's coming back to voice Sam Fisher in this new one.
I don't give a shit until I see that they've given me a finished product. Ubisoft haven't done that in so long. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god!
If their game does have a lot of content, it's because you do the same shit over and over and over and over, or some other stupid shit. They've never given us something that's just been outstanding since like Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah, well, Ubisoft is the company that has really good ideas, but doesn't know how in the heck to make them happen.
They're too busy fighting hostile takeovers and shit. To
Hey,
develop
they're-
games.
Like what was the new one? Wildlands that came out. Good idea. Very poor generic implementation.
Ubisoft is a jack of all trades, master of none.
You know what? The problem with Ubisoft, what has happened, because they were this new up and coming brash developer. They had the Splinter Cells, the Assassin's Creed was new, right? But what happened was, with my honest opinion, as far as with Assassin's Creed and stuff, that they became milk. That wasn't a title that you should have got every year, like Call of Duty. You know what I mean? And I think that was as far as the issue with Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean?
Do you
The first one was
think
epic.
Assassin's Creed will have any exclusive rights to Microsoft?
Nope.
I mean, I listen. I'm be honest with you.
I think that's done. I think that the time, like Dealer said, that time exclusive stuff's done. Phil Spencer said in that podcast Unlock thing with Ryan McFaggery or whatever his name is, he said, "Am I allowed to say
that's his name.
Are you talking?
Phil Spencer said, that's a correct
He
name.
said, "Am I allowed to say this?"
Phil Spencer said that he thinks it's bad for business to do the first party things. He said that while they just did the Dead Rising 4 thing, but
Tomb Raider. So,
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't feel.
I think it's done.
Like he says one thing, like I don't know, he's about to troll it and does another. You know what I mean? But listen, by him saying one thing, whether he feels though is bad for business, it is business. You can't just say it's bad for business. I'm not going to participate in it when
it's
your
working
rivals.
though. It's working for them.
Yeah, when your competitors are doing it, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's Sony or Nintendo. By him just saying it's bad for business. Look, I'll give you an example, right? And everyone thought I was lying. When Phil said he came out and said he's not a fan of mid-gen refreshes and all this shit, everybody like, oh, next gen, you're exposed.
And then he did it anyway.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I'm telling you what I was told, that they're bringing out something new. And they were, oh, yeah, they're not a friend. They're not a fan of the mid-gen. He had the interview with
Well, he didn't say mid. He didn't say he wasn't a fan of mid-gen
0.5
refresh. He said he wasn't a fan of 1.5, and this isn't a 1.5. It's a fucking 5.0.
that's true.
He
That's
said, he
true.
wasn't.
He did
Yeah, he
say
wasn't
that.
a fan of.
Well, I'm just saying, but the content of where the question was asked, according, for what Sony was doing, while bringing out something new, why something is still on the, that's going to be sold alongside of what you already have. You know what I mean? Now we're not talking about the specs that's going inside. We can, be, talking semantics all day, but that was the way the question was asked. Hey, this is what Sony's doing. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? And if they turned out to do the same thing, now so they out of their own mouth, they're not moving forward the generation. Cool, but I don't. I'm just like a slippery slope with him. He says one thing, and then comes out and does another. You can't, say, you know what?
We can't use that example because he wasn't lying there at all.
No.
He actually went on to say that if we're going to do it, we're going to bring big power, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. He wasn't a fan of the PlayStation 4 Pro because it was just a little implement. It was just a little.
It wasn't a
upgrade
big enough leap, is what he said.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it right.
There. But listen. There are some things. You guys can take, guys. We can all be listening. What Sony should have done with the Pro, it should have had a higher memory bandwidth and maybe a little better CPU. We can go with that. But even with 4.2 teraflops in the console, that's a lot of goddamn mustard on the hot dog. You know what I mean? Whether they're using it,
set up right.
Yeah, whether they're using the, obviously they're wasting the system resources. They should just give us better graphics and let it upscale to 4K, but they can't give you better graphics and a higher resolution because it's not a higher memory bandwidth. I get it. You know what I mean? But, it's twice as powerful as which was the most powerful console, the PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? This Microsoft.
What we say is it really is the ultimate 1080p console in the way that if the CPU is better, pretty much everything would be able to run at 60, and they pretty much be able to run everything at high or ultra at 1080p. But the CPU is not good enough, so I get that. They lock some stuff at 30, but they could still raise shit to ultra and give you a 1080p 30 ultra option.
But the vanilla PS4 was already a solid 1080p machine. It just couldn't do 60, but now all the PS4 Pro is doing is going up to 1440 or 1800p and then doing the checkerboard crap.
Yeah,
but
and
that's where all that power is going, right? So,
And
Yeah.
the games that do go to native 4K, they get there, but barely, and they don't put a drop of anti-alias on them at all. So like it's just bare features.
Yeah, not that you need AA at 1800, but yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. Like I said, you guys are the tech guy. When I just looking at the raw numbers from being a console gamer, you telling me something that's twice as powerful or what I already have is the standard PS4. I'm expecting games to look just twice as good. You know what I mean? That's just me.
No balance.
Those
That's the
days are
problem with
over.
that
Like
system.
people were blown away by last generation because you went from 480i to fucking HD. First time ever in history that consoles did that, right?
Mhm.
It'll never happen again. And that's one of the big reasons you notice such a massive jump, because with HD came high definition textures and other graphic settings. It's just not ever going to do that again. And you're going to get diminishing returns. So, like you said, you want shit to look twice as good. Stuff won't look twice as good on Scorpio. It won't. But you will have significantly higher resolutions, hopefully higher frame rates, and better graphics.
Well, from what I'm reading up on Scorpio, basically, you don't have to worry about the Xbox One or the systems underneath it. You can build your game right on Xbox Scorpio. It'll scale it down. Now, the fact that every single console, this is very important here, that every single console has 8 gigabytes of RAM to be used. They're going to use it. Now, developers, they're not using this RAM in games because some cards have 3 gigabytes, some cards have 4 gigabytes, some have 2, some have 8. Like Brad Wardle was saying over the weekend, that a lot of cards have 8. So devs aren't really programming it for that. Now, on the Scorpio, when you have 8 gigabytes on every single console, developers are going to start using the entire 8 gigs of the RAM. Even AMD said it, that developers, they don't utilize all of the RAM. They barely use it. And that's like the most important part of the most expensive part of the GPU. And they're still not using it.
And
So
that's
when
why
you
I
have-
said that Scorpio is going to be better for everyone for gaming, because developers have more ceiling room to do more with their games. You know, it's not just resolution and frame rate. We've said this a million times. And it's not just graphical effects. You know, they have to limit AI reactions. They have to limit all kinds of things. You remember that the what was it? Shadow of Mordor didn't have the Nemesis system
Who
on
the
the
fuck's watching
360.
70s porn right now?
All day went and bought a HTC Vive.
Could you hear that? That was my ringtone. You guys could hear that shit, man?
Yeah, that's the
Somebody was
gayest
calling.
ringtone ever, man. Change that
What
shit.
I just got the phone. Leave me alone.
Hey, D is shady. They said D was like that Nigerian guy, like I'm a Nigerian prince, send me $35, and I see you $1 when I get to the States. He just gets crazy. I'm sorry. Okay, as you were saying,
when developers have more headroom to do more with the games and make AI smarter and more to the gameplay because they have more to work with, that means that PC gamers will get better games, you know, because they they build the games for the biggest market. And that's where it changes, and it's good, because when that starts changing, Sony will step up and they'll know what to do with PS5. Games will just keep getting better. But if you want Xbox to fail and Scorpio to fail, then everybody's going to lose. We're going to keep getting the same GIMP stuff.
Exactly, because that's right. The PC guys are going to take advantage of this because now the developers are used to using the full 8 gigs, and you know they'll start using the 8 gigs on these PC cards. Everybody fucking benefits from it.
Well, I got a question. Well, for you, you guys again, you can answer this for me. It was I guess Dilly, you said diminishing returns, okay? But just looking, because this generation have been a big infamous or if it went from 8-bit to 16-bit to 32-bit to 64-bit, this generation, everything about the flop, right? So me going out to buy the Pro or whatever, they advertising the Pro, all right? And on paper, we can talk about specs on paper, then you have what you call real world performance. And you're telling me 4.2 teraflops, right? We're going to do it like this. So that's at least twice as powerful as the PS4.
That's a lot of mustard on a hot dog.
A lot of mustard on a hot dog, right? And then it would take the PS4 Slim and the Pro to equal the power of the Scorpio, all right? Compared to what we have right now,
the CPU and RAM,
okay.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. It's not the PS4 Pro is not a balanced system because they gimped out on the proper RAM. You're not going to get the textures that you want. Because they gimped out on the CPU, you're not going to get the frame rates you want, and that's why we're getting the results that we're getting.
Okay, so basically, what's what it's saying? So the Scorpio can come in and change all that because it's a balanced system.
It's balanced.
From what we've seen from fucking Forza Apex alone, Turn 10
Yeah,
did
that's a big
confirm
step
that.
up. That's a big step up.
Yeah, no, I just want to complete this thought because it will
Okay.
crush all doubt. Just from what we've seen from Apex alone, Turn 10 confirmed that was Apex. They ported Apex running ultra settings, only using up to 88% of the GPU load, correct?
Yeah.
And that was unoptimized, confirmed by Digital Foundry.
Okay.
Now, that is ultra settings. I have 5.93 teraflop GPU on the PC side, and they were doing that at ultra 4K 60 locked with 4x AA. I cannot get those results at the same settings with no AA, which is like fucking probably 15 to 20 frames. I don't know. I don't want to throw it too high out there, but that's a lot. AA on Forza Apex is a killer because it applies the same level AA to every car on the field.
I can't do that on my PC either, and I've
and
$1,000 worth of crap.
Either, yeah.
And the only card that stood up to the Scorpio version of Apex was the 1080 when it comes to drops. They confirmed that. There's articles out there about this. We're not saying it's as powerful as a 1080, or even a 1070. We're just saying there's magic going on here. And if they're running ultra settings in Apex, that's a good looking game at 4K 60 locked.
And quit
then
saying
there's just nothing that you have to worry about when it comes to graphical settings. They said they're just wasting the power. So you're going to be getting major upgrades in pretty much every department.
And this comes down once again. We're going to be hearing about this the whole generation. It's like the secret sauce. It's that hardware DX12 chip that they put in the GPU that helps the command processor do thousands of draw calls with just 11 instructions, and that's how they're able to get this up to speed.
Well, I mean, I guess, but the diminishing returns and all that, I mean, the average just doesn't know what they mean. But just looking at their screen,
that means just because you got a 12 teraflop GPU doesn't necessarily gonna make the game look twice as good as a 6 teraflop GPU.
But just going from what we have right now, and just that screenshot from Forza Apex, that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That
was just a test, unoptimized, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, again,
ordered in 2 days, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's a big difference in what we have now, and what we have now as far as Forza and stuff looks great. I do believe that Forza Motorsport 7 will be the graphical showcase for Project Scorpio this holiday season. You know what I mean? There's going to be.
I think it'll be Star Wars myself.
What about all the haters that are saying that that's not a big feat there, the 4K 60 Ultra?
Okay, well then how come a 1070 dropped frames where the Scorpio did not?
Well, they're saying that
this is Digital Foundry saying
Forza 6. Everyone's saying that Forza 6 isn't that demanding of a game, so that's not even going to tell you that you're not going to do 4K.
Okay, so the 1070 and the 1080, they must be weak cards because the 1070 dropped frames in the rain on Spa where Scorpio did not. So their logic is flawed. It doesn't make any sense. When they're comparing beast cards like 1070 to Scorpio, doing the exact same track, same test, to an unoptimized Scorpio version of Apex running Ultra at the exact same level of AA at 4K Ultra settings, and the 1070 drops frames in the rain on Spa, where Scorpio does not. Spa is the track in the game, by the way. Then you're effectively calling the 1070 weak. You're calling it trash.
And let's point this out here too, that you're going to be seeing these huge games with the DX12 titles. Like I said, going forward, most of the games are going to be built on DX12, and this system itself has DX12 baked into it. It is a DX12 freaking console. It's not a DX11 console or a DX10 console. It is truly a DX12 console. It's the first to have this fucking chip built into it.
And people probably still think we're crazy or full of shit, but it's like anybody who wants this article from Digital Foundry where they did the test themselves and witnessed Scorpio not dropping a single fucking frame where the 1070 did, then just message me on Twitter at @dealer_gaming. I will link you if you cannot find it yourself. This is straight from Eurogamer. Obviously, Digital Foundry are a branch of Eurogamer. It's real shit, and there's a reason to be excited for this.
And then even Gamma Sutra went over it as well, and they confirmed it as well. So how many sources do you guys really need?
I'm not saying it's as powerful as the 1070 even, but there is something great happening here. There's no reason to shit on it. It's
and
good.
also, to you guys out there that can't fucking wrap it around your head, NVIDIA architecture is just not as good at DX12 as AMD stuff is too. And that is also a factor.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But here's the thing, though. Every game on Scorpio will pretty much be running DX12, so you can expect similar advantages across the board.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Good news for Xbox guys, and good news for anybody pro-consumer that loves competition. Sony are going to come out with a great console in a few years because of this.
Well, okay. Well, we can tackle that. That's been it's something we kind of brought up on BGST. People saying that the zealous saying that Sony is going to come out and announce the PS5 next year. Here's the thing. Listen. I want to get you guys' opinion. This is what my theory.
They might.
They might just. But the reason why I say no, again, unless something drastically changes here on the landscape, Sony doesn't have an incentive to release another console because the PS4 is still selling. Okay, and I want to say this again, that look, they just released a Pro and what you call a mid-gen refresh. So that is supposed to extend the life cycle of this generation. I mean, that was the purpose of releasing a Pro. A Pro just came out in 2016, like not even a year ago. You know what I mean? 4.2 teraflops, right?
6 fucking months ago.
Yeah. So I will expect at least 3 years before we get something new from Sony, as far as hardware wise. Maybe you guys may feel different. The really sweet spot for consoles when they really start selling when they go down to about $200. You know what I mean? We have yet to got there yet. You know what I mean? So I think we're going to be in this generation. Or I don't even think we're still dealing with generations, but maybe for another 3 to 4 years. Like, what do you guys feel? Colt, you said
there are people that think Sony are going to announce PS5 this year at E3, and that's fucking stupid. I mean, even Mark Cerny himself confirmed it as a keyword mid generation refresh, middle of the generation refresh. They're not going to announce PlayStation 5. And really where this came from is an analyst who predicted that they would actually come out with PS5 in 2018, which this guy's been right on some stuff, basic shit like slim models. Like everyone fucking knew this already, right? They've done it before, but he was wrong several times before that. So there have been more analysts to say that PS5 is not coming until 2020, I do believe. Then there are the ones that say come before that. So you look at the broad spectrum. That's what I would do.
Well, knowing the way Sony announces stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if next E3 they just announce that project.
Talking E3 2018, they announce it, and then maybe it comes out.
And then it doesn't come out to 2020. I mean, look at.
I'm pretty sure it's going to come out 2020. The only way that it might get pushed up to next E3 is how successful Scorpio is. Because, like I said, if Scorpio comes out at like $399, you can forget about the PS4 Pro sales. They're going to fucking tank, and people will just either get an Xbox One S or a regular PS4 or a Scorpio.
What else? If they plan on a 2020 for PS5, Phil Spencer said they're already talking about the next thing ahead of Scorpio. And they said it takes them 3 years to come up with a console. That would mean that Xbox could come out with their next console right alongside the PS5.
Well, yeah, that's how it's going to be, bro. Like, after PS5 comes out, Scorpio 2 will come out.
Yeah,
right?
and that's they're gonna be able to leapfrog them every time.
Yeah, I mean, I just do you think they will both be all of them will be both backwards and forwards compatible, or you think? I'm not sure on the Sony side because they like to do things their own way, and their API kind of doesn't support that anyways now, where Microsoft has already got the Xbox 360 games, of course the Xbox One games, so I don't think PS4 is going to do it. They're going to want to sell it to you as a service.
Can Sony not come up with an emulation solution?
They could, but do they want to invest the money, or do they think it's better to continue with their PlayStation Now?
What they told their customers is they couldn't do backwards compatibility emulation on the PS4. So I don't know, right?
They have like 300
talking
games.
about PS3 games though.
They've got 300 games on PS Now. Why can't they offer those to their customers that own them digitally or physically?
No, they have to put a paywall up, man. You gotta make that bread.
Sorry.
Ridiculous.
Backwards compatibility behind a paywall. Fact.
You could always go buy San Andreas again on PS4 for $15.
Oh man,
that runs at good 1080p, right?
So, that game's like $3 on my Android phone.
I don't know, but I mean,
what do you think, Z? What's your thoughts?
What do I think? Like I said, Sony doesn't have an incentive. Like people,
you ever think of PS4 Slim? I mean, PS4 Pro Slim.
Oh, yeah, that's coming. I mean, that's coming with a 4K Blu-ray player. You can mark that here. That's going to be here. But what I'm saying is this: as far as that, even if Sony loses this, listen, in North America and the sales are not that far between the Xbox One.
It's about 1.5 million.
Yeah, alone. So
Yep.
I do expect Project Scorpio. I'm sorry, or Xbox Scorpio to pass the PS4. Now, here's the thing. Here's a quick. Are we counting those as individual sales, or did that goes added onto the Xbox One sales?
No, they add just like the PlayStation. They're adding them together. They're not doing them separate.
Okay, so fine. So I do expect because newer hardware, 4K and cool, and Xbox is still kind of popular here in the States. Now, worldwide, that's where the issue comes in because Sony has a much bigger, I won't say a brand, but as far as console gaming, and it's also outing more territories, a lot more territories than the Xbox One. And people, but I don't expect them maybe to close that gap worldwide, but in America, yes, and then surpass. And maybe like the PS3 and the 360 was last generation, especially if it takes on and they can show.
Well, they're going to need more than Voodoo Vince to do it. So
I think they could put a dent into the worldwide numbers though, and this is very important. Once again, that's if the fucking price is aggressive at $399, it will capture the fucking gamer's heart and attention. I'm telling you, that price point is fucking beautiful for what that fucking console can do, man.
Yeah, instead of putting the other VR headset on your Goat D, you be putting it on your Scorpio.
I mean,
can they make $399 happen?
With the technology inside, they can, because from everything that I've been reading, the reason why they wanted to customize it themselves was because of the price point. Now, if they're aware of the price point, they gotta kind of know that $500 is not a price point that's gonna sell like hotcakes. They have to be aware of this. So I think in a case like this, where I don't know how much it's going to cost approximately for them to make this system. I don't know what type of deal they got from AMD. Maybe AMD gave them a really kick-ass deal. Like I heard that they helped with some of the R&D for AMD's technology. So maybe they cut them a good deal and they got good chips, good price on the sock. Or maybe they take a loss on it and they try to get it back through software through Xbox Live. But I know is that $399.
I don't know how much of a loss they have to take because they were making about $30 on the Xbox Ones. Maybe they can just break even.
I just got a message on Twitter.
We don't know how much they got from AMD, right? That's the problem.
Bez Weller on Twitter says the IQ in the chat is lower than a snake's asshole.
But listen, but far as Cole, I don't think again. I don't, and I said this last Sunday on BGC. I don't think Microsoft was really concerned about winning. That's more or less our conversation here, fanboy shit. Because if they were concerned about winning, a lot of key things that Microsoft acquired this generation would be only on Xbox. Microsoft don't give a fuck. They about making the dollar. You know what I mean? So in a perfect world, should it be $400? Yes. You know what I mean? But I just don't see. Listen, we're barely at 1080p 60 right now. What we going to? And we're talking about going 4K 60, and we asking that for $400. I paid $400 for the Xbox One S last summer. I just don't see it happening for less than $500. I hope that I'm wrong. I'm all about it. Cool. But and again, even $500, as long as they can show, why we're paying $500 for it, I don't think it would be.
You got to remember too, Z, though, that you bought the 2 terabyte model of the X1S for $400. And I'm just saying, hang on. Listen, my logic here is pretty sound because I say that if you cancel out the GPU that's in the Xbox One S right now, that's probably $50 they can shear off the price, right? Because they don't need that GPU. They're replacing it with a better one with Scorpio. And you take that $100 from that hard drive you paid extra for, you're basically looking at a $150 increase in GPU power, right? That's a lot of power you can get pretty much in any GPU on the PC side even. So if you just replace those two things alone, you're looking at about the same price.
Okay, look at it like this. With that same scenario, right? We all know it's not the hard drive price, the size of the hard drive that drive up the price of these consoles manufactured. Hard drives are very cheap, very, very old technology.
They're not going to be so cheap because the new one's more like a 7200. It's a big upgrade over the one we have.
Okay, well, even better then. This even proves my point even more then. I paid $400 for a bullshit hard drive one last year. Hard drives are dirt cheap. I bought a 3 terabyte SSD for like $30.
And that's cheap. Like options in a Lamborghini, bro. You're gonna pay a premium for a bigger hard drive that you don't necessarily.
60 recording, You know what I mean? Just think about
But
that.
you know
That's
what?
all software, though, bro. You can do that just with Radeon Relive, free software.
That's built into it. That's free. But I will say
to upload. If that's the case, you know what I'm saying.
they
Software.
they have conditioned us though through Xbox One to use external hard drives. So most Xbox owners have an external hard drive. Most
I've got
people
all my shit on my
have an
external. I'm
external
just
hard
going to
drive.
plug it right in and be ready to go.
So if they have one released for $399 that has 500 gigs, so be it.
It's
A
been
lot of, we're just going to take our old hard drive and just plug it in.
I don't even think they need to offer a bigger hard drive because
They've already confirmed that 1 terabyte is going to be pretty much the base model.
Standard. Yeah.
oh, they've confirmed that for the base.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
actually, yeah, they did.
50%
right.
boost in bandwidth, so you're going to be getting actual good load times on shit that doesn't, pertain to strictly 4K texture games. So,
And I think they were saying something with the hard drive. It's kind of like a hybrid hard drive, and they'll be able to do some of the game caching through it, something like that. Or there's like gay ringtone. Sorry, guys.
Wow, you got super loud.
Oh, damn.
He's got dancing queens.
And also, too,
I don't understand how you guys can hear that. That's so weird.
listen. Also, too, we got to realize this that Microsoft still has an introductory console until their ecosystem, which is the Xbox One S. That's not going anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
their goal should be to get the X1S down to $200 before Sony gets the Slim down to that price point.
how much is the Xbox One S now? Is it $300?
I think it's
like
$300.
it's like
it'll be
$250.
fucking $250 full
Guys,
time.
I gotta
this
jump in.
holiday.
Sorry, I gotta jump out. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you said
It's
what?
like, it's like $250. I saw it at GameStop.
Okay, with $250.
I think that's a deal, though. I think the full time price drop will come this year to $250.
They like making that money, man. They gotta. I don't know, man.
I mean, every year they give the fucking thing the price drop. So
Oh yeah, they do. I mean,
not abnormal.
it'd be $250, maybe $230.
Here's the way I look at the pricing of Scorpio. They could either come in very aggressively and take an initial loss of a few bucks, because I think they're building this for around 400, low 400s. That's what I think they're building this for, around maybe mid, even if it's high. They have the money to take a loss, and if they do, then that'll be the more aggressive strategy. Come in at $399 and then sell software sell more software and make more money that way, or sell it at $499 and make a profit on the box. They could do it both ways. But it depends on what kind of head start they want, right? They
Hey,
want
Colt,
a bigger head
what's
start.
your reason, Colt? What do you ride with, Colt? Tell me.
What am I what?
I'm saying, what do you ride? So what do you think? 400, 500?
Gosh dang it!
I'm just saying.
All my math checks out for $500. And Phil Spencer, kind of said it's a premium console, and that
That's
pushes
what I'm
that
going with
price
it.
up. I don't know. I mean, D's right. 400 is gonna sit next to that 350 Pro, but the Xbox Scorpio isn't a $50 upgrade from what the Pro does. It's more like $100 up.
That's
So
what
I
I'm
think-
saying.
I think $499 is the price. I think that, and since dealer reminded me about the 1 terabyte, you're getting this fast 1 terabyte hard drive. You're getting 4K. You have options for VR if you're gay. You have a 4K gaming, like real 4K gaming, and hopefully maybe sparse rendered 60 frames. So it's a big deal. So I think 500 is worth it, but I just worry about that going up against the Pro with the price drop.
I think at the end of the day, I think that ship has already sailed. You know what I mean? As far as just Microsoft closing the gap or the lead or whatever the case may be, I think that ship has already sailed. As far as that, I do again. As long as this is my theory, and that's what they should have had some of these third-party deals. If they could actually show, because they're gonna Sony maybe have the stronger. I don't know what they're gonna have this holiday season as far as exclusive wise, but you're gonna have the better version of the most. We gotta realize this: Destiny 2 is coming out, right?
I already paid it off.
Star Wars Battlefront 2,
Already paid it off.
Call of Duty, whatever else
tomorrow.
Whatever else is coming out, you know what I mean? And I don't know. Microsoft needs to pound this home. I don't know if they can do a commercial, but maybe stand outside Best Buy with a
We'll
flag.
see, man. We'll see.
4K
I mean,
60.
that's the thing. 3 is like, what, I heard somebody say 6 Mondays away or some shit.
Yeah.
Very close. And we
Microsoft-
gotta remember too that there's going to be Assassin's Creed this year. They will show off on Microsoft stage. I bet you. There's a rumored Batman game supposed to be showing off this year. WB are already doing some soft marketing with Shadow of War with Xbox. We don't know if it's a 100% thing, but that
they're
means
right
that
next
for the
door to
first
them,
time ever, Batman might be an Xbox thing, which is cool.
You think we get a Batman game this year?
No, I doubt it, but I think we'll see the reveal on Microsoft stage.
That's what I'm saying. They needed.
Could be wrong, but maybe.
I think Microsoft's going to bring one surprise. They'll have one surprise game to announce that we haven't heard of that is
I
coming.
hope so. I hope so. I mean, shit. I mean, that's what.
Don't they do that every single year, Z?
No, well, here's the thing. You know what the problem is? I'm gonna be. This is coming from a true Xbox fan. Okay. Just compare it.
We see your big ass head in the background, bro.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Put a shirt on, goddamn it. Listen, this is the issue, okay? And I said this now, a lot of Xbox guys are not going to hear this, but this is the truth, okay? The problem with Microsoft E3s, and I'm going to say this again, don't bring them goddamn indies on that goddamn stage. They don't fucking belong there.
Keep them the fuck off the stage.
You know what? And those crap games. Like, well, so fuck what Sony's doing. Be Apple. Be the behemoth that you are. Remove the headphone jack. And keep it moving, okay?
No, don't remove the headphone jack.
Yeah,
don't do that. But,
I'm just saying.
You are your own
Why
beast.
do you want to
and
move the headphone jack?
Nobody's shit, right?
I'm just saying. What I'm just
Why
saying.
would you move the headphone jack? Come on.
Removed it, and they didn't care what nobody thought. People still bought the iPhone. Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what the announcement going here. The problem people have with Microsoft E3, they say, they're going to see Halo, they're going to see Gears, they're going to see Forza, okay? When Sony came out, whatever the case, it was kind of, we didn't know about anything, It was rumored, we didn't know it was another God of War, we didn't know, or whatever the case, it was all new, it was all fresh, and Sony didn't show not one goddamn indie, you know what I mean? I don't want to go up there and see Minecraft on VR or AR.
Yeah, if they have Minecraft up there for 10 more fucking minutes this year, I could not believe.
It's that Mr. Bean motherfucker.
Dude, I could not. You're talking about Chris Charlie. Every time that motherfucker walks out of stage, I'm like, God damn it, shit's about to take a dive.
Every fucking show. Listen, they don't listen. That's what I'm talking about. Leave that shit off the big stage. They don't
even Minecraft though. Like when they wasted 10 minutes plus on Minecraft last year, like we know what the fuck Minecraft is. Get the fuck off the biggest stage.
Knows what Minecraft is.
Yeah,
exactly. And like your little server updates, Xbox Live, cross platform, all that stuff. That's what it was about. And you could have just done a little press release on that.
You got the pre-E3 show, and right after E3 show, there's a little ticker timer. Cool, but that's
a fucking interview, Jesus,
or whatever the case may be. We know
we're gonna.
Yes.
Hey, next gen, you about to have an hour of Minecraft again, bro.
Yeah, listen, we know we're going to get Forza 7 on stage. We know that. We're going to get Crackdown. We know that already. So here's the problem. We're going to get Crackdown.
Yeah, here goes the problem.
We know we're going to get State of Decay 2. We know we're going to get some Cuphead. We know we're going to get
sounds like 2016 to me. What you think?
What Cuphead? Yeah. I'm just trying to say that's the problem. That's the issue. Now, whether how great these games are or not is that we already know they exist, and we already seen them before.
We know Forza is going to be fire. State of Decay 1 was fucking phenomenal. This one's using Unreal Engine 4, AAA'd up. I can't wait for it. Cuphead, never played it, but heard it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, Cuphead is awesome. Cool.
Sea of Thieves, I done said I'm not super excited for that. And I really don't think it'll be a finished game this year from what I've seen.
Nope.
And shit, what else is there? Crackdown 3, I'm very interested to find out how the physics and the cloud shit works because they have confirmed that to be a thing, right? Like you're going to see the cloud in action doing physics destruction to buildings and stuff. So
we haven't knocked down buildings since Red Faction Guerrilla. That's been a long 7 years ago.
Okay, but I'm just saying, so that can theoretically, and not forget that they got to show the Scorpio or whatever, spend some time with it. So that can potentially be their whole E3. And I can see why people say, it'd be maybe underwhelmed by their E3. You know what I mean?
Well, you did say they wanted to go on Sunday because if they went a little longer, then it wouldn't really fuck nobody over,
But we'll see. Let's looking back at what we just named and potentially what Sony may show. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what they could show. Listen. I didn't expect all the games that they showed at E3, and I said, you know what? They're going to show the same thing doing PSX, and they came with something totally different. You know what I mean? So, we should see, man.
Yeah. I think a lot of people's anxiety, like I said, like first people were bitching about not having power for the first 3 years, and then they finally get Scorpio confirmed, and now they're like, well, I'll just get a PC. And I'm like, what the fuck, right? If you're, keep in mind that if you're going to compete in multiplayer, you better get used to mouse and keyboard if you're going to compete seriously because, you're definitely going to want to consider that option because controller guys are at a disadvantage. There's been several studies done on this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like mouse and keyboard, get a PC. Do what you want to do. But if you're a console guy and you've been wanting power, then this is your opportunity The games will come. We know the third parties look phenomenal this year with Assassin's Creed. Things like Star Wars Battlefront 2 looks phenomenal. And that's just 2. Red Dead 2, you're going to be getting the best version of Destiny 2, all these games. And then that's without counting anything Microsoft are going to show off this year. And they always show off pretty good shit. And they've always got at least 1 or 2 surprises every single year. So it's like, just quit freaking out. You know, it's a few fucking weeks away. Just
What are
give
the
them,
big
give
games?
them
Yeah,
to the
literally.
doubt.
Yeah.
What are the
literally.
big games coming out on PS4 this holiday? Spider-Man,
Potentially God of War,
God of War.
and Spider-Man.
Days-
And both
Days-
those games look great, you know. So,
It's Days Gone.
Days Gone, I think. Days Gone might come out.
well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
If State of Decay is what it is, and what it's been confirmed to be, just off the first one alone, we know that game does a lot more than Days Gone. I mean, you can build your own outposts and all kinds of shit, like recruit people.
Four-player co-op as well.
Yeah, permadeath. Like, you better be fucking careful, right? So, I don't know.
Are we definitely getting State of Decay this year?
Yeah.
We haven't seen nothing, no gameplay, no nothing from
No,
it.
that's all for, like I said, they're holding it all for E3, and that's why people have anxiety about this, like, because they're holding their cards close to their chest right now. So.
Yeah, and Xbox wants they would rather have a game shown at E3 and ready to come out very soon instead of saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, here's something for 3 years from now."
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna play the protagonist here. I don't really think that's the issue. I think it's the cancellation. You know what I mean? People.
Wait, no, hold on. I was going to say this way at the beginning. You know, everyone's making a big, hairy deal about Scalebound. Yeah, Scalebound might have been pretty cool, but they're making a big deal about canceling that Fable Legends game. That was a
Nobody
free to
gave a
play.
shit about that game when it fucking.
Nobody did. It was. I thought, oh, that'll be a cool free game to get that I don't have to buy. But nobody lost any sleep over that game. They're like, if everyone says Microsoft's been canceling games left and right. What? Scalebound and Fable Legends? What else?
Hey, you know what the problem? You know, look, this real shit. And listen, watch your mouth. That's slang. I'm a Fable fan.
And you should be thankful that they canceled it, because that wasn't a real Fable
There's
game.
a reason why they canceled it, because
Okay, I
it was
get
probably
it.
garbage.
Listen, I'm with you.
Fable Connect.
But here's the thing, though. Real talk is the fact that not only did they cancel the franchise, whatever, they closed the studio. That's like the equivalent of Microsoft.
All the talent left, though, bro.
I'm just saying, but that's the equivalent of Sony cut ties with Sony Santa Monica. You know what I mean?
guarantee you we see a Fable CG trailer or some shit this
I
year.
hope
A
so.
proper fucking reboot.
You know,
Lionhead wasn't doing anything though. They were
compare their track record to Rare. What the fuck has Rare done besides grab other ghoulies, connect avatars?
Rare is being rare for having games.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've done a lot of good stuff, but that's their
Like,
problem.
yeah.
The word done, right? They've done a lot, but that's in the past, and they haven't really pumped out anything great here recently. So
They haven't pumped out anything great for the Xbox at all. All of them just cameo.
But they do have 2
Perfect
studios.
Dark.
Given they've got 200 more people working on a different game. That's been confirmed. So we'll see.
Okay.
So Sony has 3 big games probably coming, and Microsoft has at least 2.
What was
I mean,
you
that's
But
really
let's not forget, Phil did say that there's a lot of games that have not been announced yet. So,
Yeah, but
we know that
like,
Forza is coming. So let's not count that one. So
are we talking about games? I'm talking about big. When I'm saying as an Xbox fan, I mean for those that enjoy Blue Vince, cool. Those that may enjoy Phantom Dust, cool. I'm talking about the AAA, the blockbusters.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
always talking about those.
I want to just touch on Phantom Dust. They did confirm this week that it's not going to be a 480p. It's going to be 1080p.
But it should have next gen textures and stuff.
I thought it said it was using 480p renders or something.
Yeah,
No,
but
they
they corrected that. They've changed it, so the game's going to be rendering at 1080p.
Yeah, I'm still not excited for the game, but it's cool. For those that are into it, more power to you.
Yeah, it's just a fucking remaster of a time press.
But
It'll be $15 if not less.
okay.
Yeah, Sony's doing the same thing. I mean, they've got a bunch of little games that not a lot of people are going to buy. So, if you want your options, there's games there if you want them.
Cool. That's why I'm not
to
knocking
get your
it. Cool. That's why I'm not knocking it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
when, as an Xbox fan or whatever, you know what I mean, the AAA. You know what I mean? You would never see me out there when I throw up my list of games or whatever. You would never see me put Ori and the Blind Forest on that list. You know what I mean? That's just like the icing. You know what I mean, or whatever. The dessert. I'm talking about the bread, the meat and the potatoes. You know what I mean? And I want to see something other than to be guaranteed that Microsoft is going to invest in besides Gears, Forza, and Halo. That's all, and I'll be fine with that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but with that being said, something else you guys want to say before we get the hell up out of here? We've been here about an hour and a half.
Well,
Thanks, guys.
just great.
Thanks.
great show, and everybody had good points.
What TV we haven't heard from you? What are your thoughts? What do you think?
I'm.
What was your point, Jerry?
I've been too busy bitching in my own comment section, to be perfectly honest. I'm arguing with somebody else.
I forgot that motherfucker was even in here.
So what are your thoughts, TV? Tell me. The floor is yours. What do you want to see from Microsoft?
Just don't pee on it.
Yeah. What do you want to see from Microsoft? What are you expecting? Tell me something. The floor is yours.
Well, I pretty much have all my games. Well, I don't have all of them yet because COD comes out tomorrow, so I have to pre-order that. And I still have to pre-order Assassin's Creed.
No. I'm not talking about pre-ordering games. What do you want to see from Microsoft at this year's E3 that they can just knock it home? Something that may not be announced.
Show me that I can be entertained with a Scorpio. If you can show me I can be entertained with a Scorpio, I'll be happy.
Oh.
T-Reaper, you have sex with your Xbox. I'm pretty sure you'll be entertained with the Scorpio.
Yeah.
Well, I'm debating whether I should get one or two because
You're gonna have to find a new way to fuck the Scorpio though, because I don't have no vents on top. So it's gonna be a little different for you, buddy.
Well, I'm probably gonna have to fuck it from the behind then.
Okay,
probably
all right.
gonna
You
do
weren't supposed to feed into it, man.
Jesus Christ!
Everybody's going just flat out weirdo
right.
today.
Okay. What? D, you want to close the show? You got a food for thought, D?
God.
I
thought that was
He's not here.
Jesus.
What'd you say? Sorry, what'd you say?
Food for thought. You heard me.
Well, I think what I want to see is I want to see some games that have a high graphic fidelity. I want us to be wowed. I want us to see some experiences that we haven't seen before on Xbox One, and I want them to drop the mic by saying the price is $3.99.
That would be an old shit moment. You know what? That would be. This is how we trade our games. We can start this shit now. This is how we sell our console. This is how we charge you for 4K.
$3.99, bitches. Fuck you.
Yo, that's the T-shirt right there. $3.99. This is how we charge you guys for 4K. That's it. Drop the mic. Boop. You know what I mean? You know.
Everybody would collectively go, holy shit! I'm telling you.
D's right. At $400, the Scorpio would sell like crazy.
Yo, that right there would be an old shit moment.
Hey, you know what? As the more and more I think about it, I think $3.99. If they really do that, bro, that will be the edge, and that will turn a lot of heels.
You gonna say that again and not inside of Saddam Hussein's asshole?
What?
Yeah.
You can't hear me?
It sounds like when you talk about
You know, D. You know, all day a private investigator. He out in the treehouse right now with the binoculars. What happened, yo?
Hey, nah. What I'm saying is, if it's $3.99, bro, that's gonna really have a crazy influx of sales, man. It's gonna be crazy. $3.99. People are gonna grab one day one instant. There's not gonna be no debating. There's no. Oh, I wonder if. No, it's gonna be instantly.
You think there's gonna be some flip flopping in the game?
Well, the fucking $3.99 X1S.
$3.99. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, you're right.
and Microsoft knows they're fucking behind, so this might be an incentive to lower the price. You know, I mean, have a lower price, but as I said, $3.99 does not scream premium to me. So.
Yeah,
But you know what? Phil did say that he has to stop saying that premium, because when he says premium, people are thinking that it's going to be expensive. Because
it's more of a marketing thing than anything.
Yeah.
And T Reaper, we're saying premium and not premium. Get it right.
Premium,
He meant premium as hardcore gaming, like big for big
Premium
gaming.
customer. That's exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think he means it in the price of the console.
But it will be premium compared to the Pro.
Definitely.
And guys got to remember too, this is coming out a year later, so they can automatically give you something more capable for the same price. That's just a fact of life. So,
and I don't see anybody damage control. I don't see anything. Like, journalists are gonna eat it up. They're gonna love it. I'm telling you. $3.99. It'll be on headlines everywhere.
well, I mean, hell, somebody damage controlled the fact that PS4 Pro didn't have a 4K drive. So,
That was a great
there'll be
video, by the way.
there'll be some fucking idiot out there, right?
Hey, what about that? You guys didn't hear about that Starduck? That Starduck shit. The developer said Nintendo doesn't need third-party support.
Yeah, they don't need third-party support, so they can die off again.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, what I want to know is that I was watching the comparison of the new fucking Mario Kart for the Switch and the old one from the Wii. And okay, the one on the Switch has a little bit better textures, fine. But it's the same fucking game.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck are y'all doing over there, man?
It's just a port, bro.
Come on. Like, if it was a port like of a classic Nintendo game, but that game just fucking came out.
Yeah.
They ported Mario Kart 8 to the Switch?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't even pay attention to that stuff, but all right. It's me, Mario.
It's me, Mario. I'm Mario Hash again. Oh.
That shit gonna bomb. I'm telling you,
What the fuck
man.
is this fat little plumber doing in my house?
Yeah. Mario.
Yeah.
Okay, well, with that being said, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the show today, I think we about covered everything. Please hit the like button. You know what I mean? If you want to rock out, play the game with me online, I'm gonna leave the link to down below. I'm about to live stream right now as we speak. I'm do a line of the Devil's Damages first, and then I'm hopping straight online. And come rock out with me, man. And listen, subscribe to my man Colt, great guy, all day dealer D, and my man Pete Reaper. We out of here, man.
Bang.
Hit the like button. Subscribe.